Hey, what's up? Welcome back to another edition of the Post-Fight Show, the Mandatory Live. Remember, if you like the content, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. You can also find us on the audio side, wherever you find your shows, podcasts. We're there to leave a rate and review. Give us a 5-star. That helps the channel grow. By the way, this is an interactive show, so we want your comments, and we will get to a lot of your comments. But lots to get into. Big fight night. But obviously, Brian, we got to start off with the main event and what we just saw. Masterclass performance by Shakur Stevenson. I think maybe Teo won one round, that 8th round, but nonetheless, this was a unanimous decision. They were saying this fight was going to be fireworks. There was nothing fireworks about it, except for Shakur Stevenson put on that masterclass performance. Just your thoughts on the fight and what we saw against Teofimo Lopez and Shakur Stevenson.
This is what you and I feared and warned you guys about. Like we felt pretty good about the possibility of this happening. It was even more one-sided than we expected because we wanted to show Teofimo some respect, but styles make fights. And when your corner, led by your father, is telling you, hit him hard, and not giving any instruction, not telling you to feint, not telling you to set up awkward overhand looping shots. I thought that if Teofimo Lopez had any shot, he'd have to fight like Marcos Maidana, essentially.
Mhm.
And he didn't do that at all. He telegraphed everything he was going to do, at least for a guy like Shakur. Shakur Stevenson is among the best right now, period, and also arguably the best at just reading and studying and downloading information of his opponents early on. He figured out Teofimo very quickly, and Teofimo Lopez didn't change up anything. I agree. 119, 109, not a hard fight to score. He picked him apart. Once Teofimo Lopez just jumped into 3 jabs in the first minute and a half of the fight, I was like, oh boy, it's going to be a long fight. Like, I stopped scoring it after the second round. I was like, I already, there's going to be no adjustments. I see where this is going. I didn't even watch the 9th round. I was like starting to do chores. I took out the trash. You know what I mean? I cleaned off my mat because I did work out earlier. Like, I didn't even watch the 9th round.
Yeah. Listen, this was exactly how I thought it would go. Teo would not be able to close the distance on someone like Shakur Stevenson. Shakur was too quick, and you could see the speed difference. You could see the IQ difference. Teo is a skilled fighter, but styles make fights, and Shakur Stevenson is that talented, and that was shown in the ring today. This could have been a clean sweep. I think Shakur took off the 8th round, to be real with you. Shakur really wasn't doing much. That could have been a clean sweep. He gave that 8th round
He
to
got bored.
Teofimo Lopez. Listen, this was just a performance where after the 4th round, that's when I stopped scoring. I was like, there's no way, there's going to be no adjustments. And Teo did not switch up his game plan after the 6th round. I thought the 8th round he did what he was supposed to do, but I would have wanted him to make it a little bit dirtier. Like, Teo had to, he should have made it a little bit of a brawl, which it's like, how do you do that against Shakur Stevenson? Because he's so good at fighting at a distance. But it's like, you gotta get to the body. And I didn't think Teofimo Lopez used his angles as I thought he would, because I really loved his footwork prior coming into this fight, right? Teo has one of the best, footworks in the game. And he didn't use his angles the way I thought. He wasn't moving around the ring the way I thought. And Shakur dominated in this fight. And I go back and I've said this on this show many times, Brian. if Shakur Stevenson fights like that, I don't know who's going to beat him because he's that good. I've said numerous times that I could see him having a record like Floyd and being undefeated. He just beat the best 140 pounder in the world. Because Teofimo Lopez was that guy at 140 pounds. And we're going to talk about what's next for both of these guys. Of course, we saw the antics with Shakur Stevenson and Conor Benn post-fight. But Bryan, I think it's time to talk about what's next for Shakur, because other than the fact that Shakur dominated, it was a masterclass, we need to talk about what's next for Shakur, even though we saw a little bit of what might happen. Do we want that, though? And then also what's next for Teofimo Lopez. But, just a crazy performance. Should we bring up the rankings as we always do?
If Conor Benn is involved, we might not need to, but we should, because this is what we do, and we try to look out for the people. We actually will get to some comments in a second as well. Let's just real quick do the housekeeping, pull up the rankings. Even though it sounds like, I mean, if you missed it at the end, Shakur Stevenson, Conor Benn going back and forth. He called out Conor Benn. Like, that seems like who he wants. He wants a rehydration clause, which if you're moving up from 135 to 140 to then 147 makes sense with the guy who has fought above 147 in back-to-back fights, like well above. So I'm not too interested in this fight. I think Shakur is just going to box Conor Benn's head off, but if they do it, I'm going to watch it. We're going to talk about it like it is what it is. But let's look at the rankings. So Conor Benn,
I don't care about the Conor Benn fight. I'll watch it if it happens, but I don't want Shakur to fight Conor Benn. Like, what a waste of time.
Yeah, I'm good. Okay, so here's where we're at right now. This is not updated because, well, it just happened. Let's actually refresh just to see, because boxing seems to be on top of this sometimes. All right, not quite. So Shakur Stevenson, you are here.
Yeah.
If he's lost in the Muse Park, you are here. Number one WBO is Keyshawn Davis, and Keyshawn Davis fought in his car. Keyshawn Davis fought at welterweight, though, and it looks like he might stay at 147 quite well if what we saw tonight tracks. If Shakur is in this position, we don't know who the mandatory is going to be. I'm telling you right now. Well, Richardson Hitchens is fighting Oscar Duarte on another ring card coming up. If Shakur Stevenson fights any of these dudes, we're taking Shakur Stevenson.
Yeah.
Any of these champions. Also, Gary Antoine Russell has a fight against Andy Hiroka coming up next.
I think that would be the only other fight that I might be interested in for Shakur to take is Gary Antoine Russell. But I'll tell you what, Richardson Hitchens and Shakur Stevenson would be the worst, most boring fight in the world. I would rather jump off a cliff than watch that fight. I'll tell you that much. And I think it's just mostly I don't know what
by jumping off a cliff, do you mean go skydiving? Or do you just mean like
no, I would want to jump off a cliff than like watch them fight.
No parachute, nothing.
No, just like it's over for me. Just walk off. Like not even jump, just like full of boredom. You know what I mean? Like just to walk off the cliff. I don't ever want to see that fight. But here's the thing. Richardson Hitchens is very skilled too. I just think that's a boring fight. But when I take a look at the rankings right here, Shakur beats any of these guys, but I think the one that would be the most entertaining, Bryan, would be him and Gary Antoine Russell. Would it not?
Entertaining, yes. And Gary Antoine Russell's good, but
very good. Yeah, I think he's good.
Alberto Buello beat him, so Shakur is in the territory. If like it's kind of like what Floyd Mayweather said before: if somebody else beat you, then I'm gonna figure you out. And that was the thing with the Teofimo fight. It's like he arguably lost to Sandor Martin as well. And if you look at welterweight here, Lewis Crocker, Rolly Romero, Mario Barrios, Devin Haney. Devin Haney, I think, beats Teofimo similarly. I gotta say, I still take Teofimo Lopez over 99% of 147 and 140. The 1% is probably Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney. Otherwise, I feel good about my chances with Teofimo Lopez against anybody at 140 or 147. Gary Antoine Russell might actually be in that 1% too, but that's it.
You know what though? I think Teo, depending on what weight class, because it's like Teo saying he's going to jump up to 147 pounds, but like we didn't really see his power at 140, so I don't know why he'd want to jump up to 147. But I'll say this though: if he does fight Devin Haney. And Devin, listen, he went to 147. He proved he could do it at 147. I think Teo has a chance against Devin Haney because Devin Haney takes a little bit more risks than Shakur Stevenson does. Of course, he's very skilled. He is defensively good, but we also have seen Devin Haney get hit a lot in the past. Like even when he fought Lomachenko, he got hit. Let's go to Jalen Davis. Anytime that you donate to the show, we go to your comment right away. He gave us $10. Thank you. What's up, y'all? I agree. Shakur versus Gary would be great. Yeah, that would be the one. But I actually do think Devin and Teo would be interesting, and I think Teo could possibly win that fight against Devin. I just think Shakur's better than like a lot of people by a mile. I think if Shakur and Devin fought, Shakur would school Devin. That's what I think.
The thing we don't know about Devin, and we didn't learn in the Brian Norman fight, is where his chin is at, because Brian Norman Jr. didn't get a chance to touch him.
Yeah.
I think if he fights Teofimo Lopez, though, I mean, I don't even know why the hypothetical is. I mean, WBO former champion, I guess, could move up high into the WBO rankings at 147. And if it were me, like if I'm looking at the rankings real quick at 147 for the WBO, Teofimo Lopez, I'd rather see him fight against Devin Haney than anybody here. Like anybody, with all due respect to Manny Pacquiao and Jack Catterall and Tiger Johnson, who got into his own fight with Devin Haney's people. I mean, over this past weekend, like Teofimo Lopez,
you know what would be the fight to make? Actually, you know what's the fight to make for Teo? If it's not Devin, no, Ryan Garcia. Teofimo Lopez and Ryan Garcia would be the fight to make.
Enough of Ryan Garcia.
That would be the fight, though. But that'd be the entertaining fight, and they would make so much money out of it. If we're talking about entertaining fights, and Teo just lost, and maybe he wants to move to 147, him and Ryan Garcia would actually be a decent fight. And also, they've been in talks. They say they want to do it. Teo has been on record saying, I'm going to fight Devin, I'm going to fight Ryan. So we'll see if it actually happens. They made this fight happen. But props to Teofimo Lopez for putting his belts on the line, putting his, Ring Magazine title on the line. Like, that's huge, right? Like, and not a lot of fighters want to do that. So it's like he's putting his legacy on the line. He did that tonight. And that's what we've been waiting for in boxing for a while, where guys are actually stepping up to the plate and fighting. And that's what we've been getting recently. So shout out to him, because I don't know if a lot of guys would have did that, Brian.
I agree. And even when I saw the fight, I was like, oh, he wants to do this. Okay, yeah. Respect. But Shakur, I mean, he's. I said before, whoever wins this will be firmly on everyone's pound for pound list, and I think people will play with the idea of Shakur being in the top 5. We'll see. I think we should get to some questions. IMPK said good morning.
It's late there on the East Coast.
Where he is in the world, it's actually like the real morning, I believe. So everyone here, Tony Yayos is 32 more minutes, question mark. This is Turkey is the new Al Heyman. Everyone thanking him post-fight. I'll say this, Al Heyman, you know what? Never mind. I'll say Al Heyman's different. Turkey's got more of a complicated history.
Yeah.
Jay says salute. We haven't seen Jay in a while. Salute. Roland Curtis. Teofimo Lopez cooked extra crispy tonight. Conor Benn fight is a waste of time. Tony Ayo says even at 147.
I agree.
You agree. This is for you. This is a put the sheets up, wrap yourself.
No, and I think Conor Benn and Shakur might be interesting. Just I don't care, actually. Like, I'm gonna be real. I don't care to see Conor Benn and Shakur. If it was on, we'd probably do a post fight show and everything like that. But I don't care about Conor Benn, dude. Like, move on to the next.
Roland says also Teofimo's a bum. Teo, you not from Brooklyn. Fuck is wrong with you? A quote from Richardson Hitchens. By the way, I don't know if Teofimo Lopez, like, these are the type of dudes I'm not sure he'd beat. Devin Haney. Yeah. I should probably throw Richardson Hitchens in there as well. Although I thought Richardson Hitchens, I thought he lost to Gustavo Lemos.
He did. That,
you know what I mean?
Lemos got robbed in that fight.
Different style of fighter, but I mean, if Teofimo Lopez boxes this way, he wouldn't beat Richardson Hitchens either. That's actually a hypothetical that I'd be interested in. So we'll see. Salome. Someone needs to inherit the spirit of Maidana to beat Shakur. Yeah. Maidana is the type of dude who, yes, you can lose to, name them. But at the same time, the way he beat Adrian Broner is to me the blueprint for beating somebody who
Mhm.
wants to counterpunch, who wants to look good, so to speak, who doesn't want to take too many risks. And Broner had pop, so it was a little bit different, but those are the type of dudes. Like you get in there, you get fucking wild, you make it a nasty fight, you get on the inside, you throw overhand, like chopping right hands and left hands and from weird angles, and you pressure and pressure and pressure. And Teofimo didn't do any of that shit.
No, and that's what I was afraid of going into the fight. I'm like, oh wait, we just got a huge donation. Thank you.
This is my boy Greg. Hell
Go
yeah.
ahead, read it.
Greg says, absolute masterclass. We were just texting about this actually. That's what Mayweather did to Canelo. Lopez didn't go to the body enough and wasn't busy enough in general. He needed Maidana's energy toward Floyd, their first fight. I don't think Shakur can be beat. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think you agree with this, especially.
Yeah, I've been saying this. I don't think Shakur can be beat. I think he's going to be undefeated when it's all said and done. And I see Shakur at 147 as well. Like Connor Ben saying he's too small. No, I think he would pick apart Connor Ben like crazy. Like Connor Ben is not in the same lane as Shakur Stevenson. So maybe that's a fight that he wants. I want to get to this comment by Jalen Davis because I think it's interesting. Teo needs to get rid of his dad. Awful corner with no advice whatsoever. Yeah, he might need a new trainer. And listen, like they were saying it on the broadcast, although like I would have loved to just mute the broadcast and just not listen to it and just watch the fight, which I usually do with a lot of fights. Just if it's not Top Rank or Showtime, you know what I'm saying? I'm not really trying to listen to the broadcast, but I'll say this. Yeah, like I mean, Teofimo Sr. wasn't giving him the best direction, Brian. What do you think about Teo changing trainers? Like, do you think it's time for him to finally do that?
I think sometimes it can be a little bit overrated, but I think in this instance it would work out because Teofimo is clearly, I mean, he beat Lomachenko, man. Like,
Yeah.
like he's pound for pound talented even today. And I think with a different game plan, he kind of has like the reach difference between these two wasn't crazy. You could argue he's more athletic. Like you could argue he's faster in some ways. You know what I mean? Or it can at least be cagey. Like you didn't see any of that play out tonight. Like I think on paper, if
Yeah.
Teofimo brings forth a different style, this could have been a lot closer because he's good enough to actually make this a fight. But when your corner is just telling you like bad movie line after bad movie line about like just going to get it and just fighting and just throwing harder and landing harder and like there's no real instruction there. Meanwhile, as someone tweeted at me in a conversation, nothing bad. I just Shakur basically has Andre Ward and Terrence Crawford on speed dial.
Yeah.
Like on top of being this good, he has access to those dudes. Like it would be like Victor Wembanyama being in a mentorship program led by freaking Michael Jordan and LeBron James. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous.
Yeah. I just listen, this was a masterclass performance by Shakur. It'll be interesting to see what he does next. Do you think he's going to take the Connor Ben fight?
Yes.
Okay.
I believe Shakur when he says he wants to
Yeah.
fight. It's like, I believe he wanted to fight Gervonta Davis more than Gervonta Davis wanted to fight him. And I think Tank also made that clear. By the way, Salome asks, would prime Tank at 135 give Shakur trouble? And
No.
here's the thing. The fact that we gotta say prime Tank, I feel old. I'm like, damn, bro.
Yeah.
His Tank past his prime, but I mean,
Listen, like he lost to Lamont Roach. How like I don't care what anybody says. Lamont Roach won that fight 7 rounds to 5. I've seen that fight like 8 times, Brian. And so listen, he was gifted a
damn.
draw. He was gifted it. That's it. It's just facts. like he didn't win that fight, right? And so here's the thing though. I don't think we're ever gonna get Tank and Shakur. Tank is
No,
dealing with
I
so
gave
much
up on
stuff.
that. I gave up
Yeah.
on that already.
And Tank and Shakur, even if it does ever happen, we're not going to get it when we want it, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. We don't know what's going on with Tank. I think he recently just got bailed out. I don't know. Like he's dealing with a bunch of stuff, but I think a lot of people would want to see that fight. I just don't think we're going to get it.
Yeah. I think it takes only 31, which is crazy. But I mean, he's the only one because a lot of people when they were both at lightweight would be like, hey, Tank has the power, whatever, whatever. And I would say, look, as a pure boxer, he's actually underrated.
Hmm.
It takes a while to get going, but he's actually underrated. Now against Shakur, I don't know. And that's gonna be one of these things that like it just we have so many never ending, just unanswered boxing questions about what would have happened if this person fought this person when they were at their peak. There's just so many fights we missed out on. And unfortunately, this looks like it's gonna be another one of those. I think we should get to a few more comments and then move on to Xander.
Yeah, for sure.
Um, Ryan Shepard, what up, Ryan? Says it's truly hilarious how much Bud does not like Teofimo Sr. I wonder what he was telling Teofimo Jr. After the fight, because I saw him talking to him for a while.
Oh yeah, it seems like he was showing him some love. Like Bud wasn't like in his face about that, but I mean, he doesn't like Teofimo Senior. And I mean, listen, we should probably later on in the show also talk about Team Haney and what went down this weekend, because we're gonna have to talk about that. But Brian, any more comments you want to get to before we move on to Xander?
Chill Ray 8624. Teofimo got belt to ass. Shakur outclassed him, and also says Teofimo needs to fire his father. Zero advice in the corner. Seems like Lopez corner came in with no game plan. Told him, hey, yo, this is funny. Better trainer Norman Sr. or Teofimo Sr.? Well, Teofimo Sr. does have the Lomachenko win, so I'll say that much.
Yeah, that's true.
It's
That's
crazy. Imagine Teofimo with a real trainer would be amazing.
with a real trainer. That's cold, but yeah.
Xander Zayas. We're gonna pull up the rankings again soon because we have to. But Xander Zayas, this is a good fucking fight. If you missed it we watched it on Tubi. By the way, we're still shitting on Top Rank. Not shitting on Top Rank, like the company, but like just put your fights on YouTube. Why are you just waiting for a TV deal and just making fights hard to find? That being said, the Tubi broadcast was exceptional.
Yeah, it was smooth and it was super easy to find. Like
and
it
free.
was,
And free.
yeah, and the feed was great. There was nothing wrong with it. It was hella easy. I couldn't find it anywhere. Then I just like went onto my laptop, put it in Tubi, hit up the search bar, found it real quick. Brian's like, "How you doing?" I'm like, "Yo, this is the easiest thing ever." And then Brian loved the stream. You know what I mean? Like
The
it was
broadcast was
easy.
also good.
Yeah, it was very good. And you know what? Shout out to Christina Poncher.
Yes.
She's
Yes.
one of the best in the game, and I don't think she gets enough credit, but she is amazing at what she does. But yeah, this was a fight for Xander Zayas. And listen, this was a very, very good fight. Did you agree with the split decision though?
Yeah. No, I did not. It was
Okay.
weird. It was weird. I was like, whoa, split decision in PR. So part of me was like, wait, are they about to rob him? Like I thought he clearly won the fight. I actually thought, and I felt like I may have been like one or two of my tweets was like kind of hard on Xander in terms of like, yo, he's outboxing him, but he's kind of a sitting duck for uh how do we agree to say his name according to the broadcast? Because
Well, it was different. I've heard it so many different ways that I'm afraid to say it.
yeah, we'll call him Abass.
Yeah,
Abass
Abass.
Baraou.
But I thought it was Abass
But
Ballroom, but then they were saying it differently on the broadcast. So I
yeah,
don't know.
see, this is the problem with boxing, man.
They were saying
Like
Baru
we can't
and
we
yeah.
can't agree on one pronunciation for people's name. Like I'm saying Bakhram Murtazaliev, who we'll get to in a little bit also, and Eddie Hearn. I heard say
Murtazayev.
Murtzalev or yeah, Murtazalev or whatever. I don't know.
Well, I've heard
Murtzaliev.
yeah, okay, so I've heard Murtazayev. What is it, Brian?
I just say Murtazaliev. And usually I'm good about these things as somebody who watches a lot of, well, I mean, other than boxing, international basketball, where I'm practicing names from dudes from like Greece and Serbia,
Yeah.
and different parts of like the Middle East and Africa. So we'll go with the Bass Bauru, or we'll just go with the Bass. But for the purposes of moving this along in a non-awkward way, I thought Xander Zayas was getting hit with a lot of right hands early. Other than that, I thought he took some chances that he didn't need to take, but he boxed really well, man. I thought he won probably 9 of the 12 rounds, and it was a little bit more one-sided than I thought the judges had, which was
Yeah.
surprising given that it was in Puerto Rico. Abass is really good though. Like he'll call some fits for other dudes. He got like practically a standing ovation in PR. He'll be back, I think. And honestly, I think they should have him fight in PR again because of the love he got. But Xander, I mean, he's 23 with 2
Crazy.
titles. He's not perfect. Um, Nobody in the sport is. Alexander Usyk probably the closest, but I think Xander getting the second title is big, considering that Virgil has an interim title. Boots doesn't have a title yet. Like, he's creating leverage for himself, and he even taunted Oscar De La Hoya and was like, "Listen to the crowd, like this is all sold out, whatever, whatever." And it's like, yo, he packed out another venue. Um, I think they're looking at maybe Puerto Rican Day Parade weekend in June for his next fight, if they can get it.
Yeah, I think Xander dominated. I was actually surprised about the split decision, but Abass Baraou, like I've said before, he's one of those fighters that are exciting because he's a come forward fighter, and he did box pretty decently in this fight. But Xander Zayas was just a lot better, and Xander Zayas, I think for him, like the way that he moves around the ring, the way that he gets to the body, he has a good jab. He also looked like he filled out in his weight class. Like you know what I mean? Pause.
You
But
look
you know
like
what
a
I'm saying?
super. You look like a super middleweight, bro.
Yeah, like I'm looking at him and I'm like, this dude's gonna move up pretty quick. But I think he's gotten better in every fight. And this was maybe his toughest test, Brian. You know, maybe his toughest test.
Get to the super chat.
Oh, thanks, Al the Pal. Al the Pal. Also, Raider Nation right here just donated $10. Al the Pal is a good friend of the show, by the way. But yeah, like
Does he watch a Raider show also?
I don't know if Al the Pal watches the Raider show, but I know he's a Raider fan. So
Got it.
You know, Raider Nation. But yeah.
Yeah. I agree. I thought, by the way, to your point, I thought the broadcast made a great point where they said, look, Xander's moving around the ring a lot and boxing and giving different angles, but he's not running because he's throwing way more punches than his opponent. And he does, that's what he does. Like, his style is very athletic, is very taxing. Like, you watch him first couple rounds and you're like, yo, is he going to sustain this pace? And he'll have his lulls, and that's where he gets caught, right? Where he's just standing in front of his opponent at times. And Abass Baraou was figuring out, like, hey, when he throws, like, I can get him with the right hand because he keeps moving to this one side. And then Xander adjusted and was able to cleanly box his way to the finish until the 12th round, where he decided to go all out and give himself CTE. And basically go to war. But it is what it is. I thought it was a great fight. I thought the card was solid too. Actually, we got some really nice finishes. PR crowd brings it. So 154 is fun, man. And I think
should we take a look at the rankings? We might as well, just to see what's next for Xander Zayas. Also, because there's another play in this, Josh Kelly also won. Right. So listen, that's probably like one of the biggest. I didn't expect him to be background because they're saying his name in so many different ways. So Brian, like, did you like, that's another piece of this too, right? When we take a look at the rankings, Josh Kelly with a very good performance today. Like, let's give him that. He looked really good today.
Xander called out all the champs, by the way. He mentioned Josh Kelly by name, mentioned Boost, mentioned Virgil, obviously, Sebastian Fundora. Like, he's out here. Like, he's trying to unify, get big fights, and chase big fights now at 23 in respect. He also seems to want to do it from an A-side position, which is why I thought it was smart for him to get the titles. Sebastian Fundora had 2 titles, as I mentioned last show, but vacated one of them. And so Xander went out of his way a while ago to make the point, like, listen, they're saying that, like, I don't want to fight this person, I don't want to fight this person, but Sebastian Fundora had the opportunity to fight me for the WBO, and he vacated the title to fight Tim Tszyu again. Like, Josh Kelly, as you mentioned, won the fight. It was real close. I saw some people saying robbery, which I thought was a little strange.
No, I don't think it was a robbery. It was a close fight.
It was a very close fight.
The layoff had a lot to do with it, I think.
I mentioned that as a reason to be nervous about Murtazaliev. I think if he's in better rhythm, maybe he does what he's supposed to. But Josh Kelly is also better than people think. That being said, Xander has 2 titles now.
Yeah.
And I do wonder if they just go for the Josh Kelly fight. And if you're Josh Kelly, why would you not? Why would you not take the fight? Why would you not?
I think, I mean, if that's I think he would have more leverage if he went for the Josh Kelly fight. And remember, there were rumors before he fought Abass Baraou that Xander Zayas and Josh Kelly were going to possibly have a fight. But I don't think that's the most entertaining fight. But of course, if Xander's going to have leverage, go for that fight. But I'd rather see him against Virgil Ortiz, and I'd rather see him against Jerome Boots Ennis. But the thing is, it's like Jerome Boots Ennis says he wants to fight everybody, but he doesn't fight anybody. And let's just call it for what it is. Right? Like, he says he wants to fight all of these dudes. He's not fighting nobody. Like, he is not fighting nobody, Bryan.
Remember how he got the interim title? Typically for interim title, and Ryan Shepard asked a good question. I'm going to get to that in a second. Typically for an interim title, it has to be like the top two or two of the very, very top guys in the weight class rankings to fight for that title. Boots immediately shot up the rankings when he moved up because he was a champion at 147. That part makes sense. The problem is he fights Uisma Lima for the interim title, who was ranked like 10th in the WBA rankings. And it's like, how is this an interim title fight? It didn't make any sense.
None of it makes sense. Like, come on. What is his best win? Is it
Stanionis?
Yes. But Stanionis, by the way, was coming off a huge layoff at the time.
Correct. Yeah. Right. Look, here's the thing. Boots is like extremely talented. He's another one. I think he's pound for pound talented, but the resume is leaving something to be desired, which is why people want the Virgil Ortiz fight so much. Because while you and I could sit here and be like, yo, we probably think Boots is all around better and wins that fight, Virgil has a better resume.
Virgil has a way better resume than Boots. I think Boots has one of the worst resumes in boxing.
Jesus.
Look at his resume. Look, he has one of the worst but here's the thing. I'm a big Jerome Boots Ennis fan. That's why I'm being hard on him about this, because I think he could beat anybody in this weight class, Bryan. Like, Boots is that good. But listen, you're 35-0, and who have you fought other than Stanionis?
He's 28, by the way. He will be 29 this year, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think it's yet. Yeah, he'll be 29 in June.
Okay, so here's one thing that I'll say though.
Karen Chikada's on twice.
I've always liked Romain Villa. I'll say that. I think he's a good fighter, but I mean, he's not a A-level fighter.
I'll put it to you this way. Abass is better than everyone here.
Mm-hmm. I like Stanionis still. I'm not like that layoff.
Me too.
To me, yeah.
Me too. But Abass should have been undefeated. He got robbed in the Jack Hoke fight, and coming into this fight, he beat Yoenis Tellez, who people thought was, Tellez is legit, but like you get what I'm saying. Different weight class too. And I mean, Virgil Ortiz has multiple, Sergey Bohachuk and Israel Madrimov. Like,
Virgil's got a real resume, bruh.
Yeah, he's got a couple legit guys.
And here's the thing, like, we thought the Virgil Ortiz and Jerome Boots Ennis fight was going to happen. Didn't happen. Are we going to see? You know what? I do want to see in the end. I do want to see Virgil Ortiz and Xander Zayas. If they can make that in June, that'd be sick, right? Because it's the Mexico, like, Puerto Rico rivalry. Because, like, even though Virgil's Mexican American, whatever.
No, it counts. It counts. You don't think Boots and Virgil is going to happen?
No, because I don't think Boots is going to fight him, because he doesn't fight anybody. They bring up the rankings. Who is Boots going to fight? Like, I'll show you. I'll tell you.
All right.
I'll tell you. Okay, so let's go down here.
Here's Boots WBA interim. So someone in WBA rank.
He's going to fight Tim Tszyu. That's Boots' next fight.
Oh, that would bum me out. Tim Tszyu just won, by the way, did he not?
Great for Jerome Boots Ennis. You know what I mean? Like, because, like, he doesn't fight anybody. Like, it is what it is. Like, unless he fights one of these top guys, like, I don't really want to hear it at this point. And you know what? He's very protected by his team. I'll tell you this little nugget, and we probably told it before. When Bryan and I were, like, starting out the show, and we were, like, really trying to get interviews at the time, because we didn't know how we were going to, like, do the show, essentially, because we came from mostly betting, right? Like, it was, a lot of betting interviews. So we hit up Jerome Boots.
Wait, what do you mean? We came from journalism. What are you talking about?
We did, but, like, we met on, like, doing betting, right? Like,
we met while working at FanDuel, yeah.
Yeah, and so that was based around betting. Okay, obviously, Greg also gave us another $10. Go ahead, Bryan. You can read this. This is your boy right here.
You guys mentioned Boots, and it instantly took me to when the broadcasters showed him in the crowd at the fight, and I thought he was an idiot for wearing shades indoors. Is he worried about staying undefeated? You know what? A lot of guys are.
They want the
problem. It's a problem in boxing. This is why you don't get fights like tonight. I mean, Shakur was the only one undefeated. He also, I don't think, is that worried about. Like, I think Shakur wants to fight people, but there are some dudes. Adonis Stevenson, though he had a loss, was kind of like this. the people around Deontay Wilder wanted to really protect his record early on, at least in his title run, before they let him like, all right, go fight Luis
You
Ortiz, go
guys,
fight Tyson Fury.
here's the thing. You know how they say LeBron ruined the All-Star game? Money Mayweather ruined like everyone trying to have the O. You know that because everyone's trying to chase the O, right? Like that's literally what it's the same thing. That's what I'll say. But it doesn't really matter because like all of my favorite fighters have O's, most of them except for Andre Ward. But you know, a lot of people will question his resume on one of those fights. But I will say that
Floyd too. Floyd's got 2 fights
yeah,
that people are like, you know. So
yeah, for sure. But okay, so yeah, I think Boots is gonna pick somebody like Tim Zhu or Charles Conwell or just
maybe
like
I'm dumb. Maybe I'm dumb. Maybe I'm falling for it. I kind of legitimately think
he hasn't even fought Madrimov.
I'm 50-50 on whether it happens. How about that? I'm 50-50. I think you're like 20-80.
I don't think it's gonna happen at all. I think I am like 90-10. I think it's more likely that Virgil Ortiz and Fundora fight, and then also Virgil Ortiz and Xander Zayas. Because remember, like Virgil wants to fight everybody too. Like Virgil wants to fight these dudes, but we're not. Oh yeah, by the way, getting back to that story, we pretty much hit up Jerome Boots Ennis's team for an interview, and they were like, "We want to know the questions before you ask them." Like he's
Which
very
is
protected.
corny. And again, coming from journalism, like when we interview people regularly. It's a like you're not getting the questions ahead of time.
Well, I'll say this: when I'm on like live TV and I'm doing a game, and like say something happens, I might tell the guy, like the athlete before, like, yo, I'm going to ask you about this. So he's not caught off guard or gets pissed off.
If it's something
and
sensitive,
that,
yes.
Yeah. And so that's the respectful part about it. And so I've done that a few times.
But
like,
you're not giving the list of all the questions. For
no.
I may bring this up or like.
I'm literally like, yo, I'm going to ask you about why you got that like red card. Like I'm just talking about in terms of soccer. I'm gonna ask like because you're not gonna be able to play like the next game, like you know what I mean, like when stuff like that happens. So
but they also know you need to ask that question.
Well, because like when you're doing sideline reporting, sometimes PR's like, no, you're not gonna ask that. Like you don't always get to ask those things, right? And then also if you want good relationships with the players, you give them a heads up on some of that stuff. Right. Like, and sometimes you'd be like, yo, can I ask you about that? And so they'll be cool about it. But like, yeah, like you're not always you're supposed to, but yeah.
The point is asking for a list of questions ahead of time is corny.
Yeah.
You know, that just means you want public relations. You don't want to do like a serious like interview or whatever the case would be. We're not doing like actual real world important shit like Don Lemon, for example. We're just trying to talk about like, you know, whatever we're going to talk about with Boots Ennis. Like I asked when I interviewed Eddie Hearn this week, I asked him a couple of questions that probably would be on the tougher side, quote unquote, that he wasn't blindsided and he answered them and I didn't clear it with anybody ahead of time.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like no one does that is the point. When we had Richard Torres, because I'm thinking of Luis Ortiz. Richard Torres, Luis Ortiz would be a fun fight. Richard Torres, when we had him, when we had Tiger Johnson, when we had Heather Hardy, Cody Crowley, you know what I mean? Like all these different people that we've had, Elijah Garcia, none of them asked about questions. Neither did the PR people for the most part.
But pretty much anytime anyone does that, I think it's the lamest thing ever.
Yeah.
Like, give me the questions. You know what I mean? Yeah. Al the Pal also just donated another $10. You go to your comment right away. He said, just because Shantelle is so dang cute. Hey, thank you. I didn't do my hair today, so that's nice. That's why I'm wearing the Raiders hat. But I'll say this. Though. I just think Boots has to fight somebody at this point that has a name, is one of the top guys. That's what I want to see. I don't want to see him fight Tim Zhu. I don't want to see him fight. You know, I think like he hasn't even fought Madrimov.
No, his best win is Stanionis.
That's the thing. He doesn't fight anybody.
Now he's barely been at 154. I'll say that much. But at the same time, like, yeah, I want to see him bring it in his next fight. I'd like to see Josh Kelly will be ideal. Ryan, your question. I wanted to get to this. He said, and we have a bunch of questions. We'll actually start getting to them now. Why doesn't the IBF have a 1 or 2 or 3 contender? So Josh Kelly was. And now, because he's a champion, Bakhram Murtazaliev moves off, and they have to just update the rankings. That's one. As far as the other two slots, you'll see this sometimes with the rankings where even here, for example, the IBF, they don't have a number one. So in theory, it's supposed to set up an eliminator where two of the top contenders, I guess in this case would be Patty Donovan and Liam Paro, would fight each other for the right to be the number one contender. So that's supposed to be sorted out with eliminators and such. Even here at 140, WBC doesn't have a number one guy. They have to update their rankings because, well, Subriel Matias just lost. And what could also happen here is like Subriel drops to like sixth, and then everyone else moves up. So then the number one spot gets filled in. So it kind of just depends on the governing body. As we know, they're not really consistent in boxing. The IBF tends to follow their rules more than anyone else, which I think annoys people at times, but they're doing what they should be in a lot of instances, even though when they enforce William School, who got knocked out today, by the way, against Canelo Alvarez, people get pissed, but the IBF is like doing what they feel like they're supposed to be doing, as opposed to the WBA, who kind of just sits on their hands, doesn't really enforce anything, doesn't make Tank fight like super tough opponents, for example, and has regular and super champions. So there's that. We should probably get some more questions. William School, by the way, as I did mention, got knocked out today by Jacob Bank for a global WBO super middleweight title. So it's not a world title. It's a global title, but it's not actually a world title. I don't know. Just know that he got knocked out in the 12th round in Denmark in a fight where he didn't fucking win a second. And if you love Canelo Alvarez, I think you should be very concerned about where he's at in his career. Yeah. Never mind that, because Bank looked a lot better against School than Canelo did.
I don't know how much like Canelo's heart is in it at this point, because I don't think he has anything to prove, and he's been doing it for so long. I mean, this is a guy that has more than 60 professional fights. Was at the top of the game, some would say, for a very long time. So, but yeah, I mean, that Canelo School fight was a tough one, and even like the crowd was lame. I remember watching that and be like, "This is terrible." That was a Saudi fight. But nonetheless,
the crowd was lame for the Royal Rumble today also, for any wrestling fans out there. From what I heard, I gotta watch the Royal Rumble, the rest of it, but I saw some clips, and the crowd, yeah, who would have expected that? Wait till WrestleMania is going to Saudi next year. Bought for a shit ton of money. Tony Yayo says Boots Josh Kelly is a logical fight to make, both Matchroom. I agree. Don't even care that Boots has an interim title. Who gives a shit? It's an interim title anyway. Kelly is with Matchroom long term. That could be Boots' title shot. And we thought at one point that, and I should put this back at 154, that the Xander might fight Josh Kelly because Josh Kelly was number one for the WBO, and then he ended up going for the IBF. So yeah, these things could happen that you bring up. Tony Yayo compared Ramon Villa to Alfredo Angulo.
That's not, yeah, okay.
I suspect you were a big Alfredo Angulo fan.
Of course, I was a huge. It's like my style fighter, yo. Like I was like a huge fan. I go back sometimes and like watch a couple of his fights on YouTube, like just for fun. They're on there.
His fight with Canelo was great.
Yeah, that was a dope fight. Great. And listen, like if you haven't seen him fight, you have to go watch him fight. He's fun. Like I think Bryan just knows the style of fighters that I like. So there's that.
Ryan Shepard says Zuffa could just loan Callum Walsh. It's not like he's helping them. Well, they're helping him. That's what I'll say. And Omega Alphatron says, have y'all interviewed Virgil yet? No.
He's on the list.
We haven't done a ton of interviews just because boxers have shitty Wi-Fi. Not all of them are great interviews. If you see some of the interviews they do where they're on their phones and shit, I don't like that shit personally. But we do want to do some interviews this year. Our most recent one was actually with Franchon Cruz de Zern, who is now fighting Clarissa Shields coming up. So we have a pretty decent track record.
Yeah, and we kind of predicted that fight too. We were trying to make it happen. And Franchon's hella cool too. She showed us a lot of love. So yeah, she's cool. So that's gonna be a good fight. That's gonna be coming up pretty soon too, Bryan.
Yeah, there's some pretty decent fights coming up. Let's actually, should we go through the rest of the cards? Like we just talked about the main events for each.
Yeah, quickly. Yeah, we can do that.
All right, let's start in the Garden. Keyshawn Davis.
Great performance by Keyshawn. Like, was it not? Like, that was a solid performance by Keyshawn. He's a problem, man. So talented.
He beat Jermaine Ortiz in a more dominant way than Teofimo or Vasily Lomachenko. It's worth noting. Jermaine Ortiz, who we both like, doesn't throw enough fucking punches, but he's skilled and he could defend. But man, Keyshawn, whew, he broke that defense.
Keyshawn's a problem, Brian. Would you want to ever see Keyshawn and Teo?
Sure. I mean, Keyshawn, if he stays at one, because he's talked about going to 147, then this fight was apparently at 140 after rumors of it being at 147. So if Keyshawn's just moving up 5 pounds as opposed to 12, which I think makes more sense. I love Keyshawn at 140. I think if he just has his head on straight, you know, like Keyshawn could beat anyone at 140 except for Shakur, and he's not going to fight Shakur anyway. So
yeah. Ryan Shepard says Shakur and Keyshawn sound like all they do is go to church and beat people's asses. Not mad at it. Yeah, like, you know, they're boys. They're never going to fight each other, which, I mean, it is what it is. But Keyshawn, I thought he put on a good performance. Al the Pal did say it was pretty much 12 rounds. But here's the thing, like, Jermaine Ortiz is that good in terms of skill. He's a technician. And he's not easy to break down like that, Brian.
Right.
And Keyshawn did that. And that's why it was so impressive. And I take a look at 140, and I think he could definitely do some damage there, but he's a problem. And it's nice to see Keyshawn rebound with whatever happened in VA, you know, last year with everything that happened. That was such bad press. So for him to come out and be the co-main and put on a great performance like that, extremely impressive. And I know you probably want to talk about Shushu a little bit here too.
I want to talk about Jarrell Miller more, but we'll go to Shushu. So because we're going in order, because Jarrell Miller, I mean, we've taken way too long to talk about this. We'll get to it in a few seconds, not literal seconds, but still. Keyshawn, great. You could argue performance of the night if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Bruce Carrington, who kind of was struggling a little bit with Carlos Castro.
Yo, this is what I was saying. So I said, listen, like Carlos Castro was like landing the right hand easily on him effortlessly, and people were like, "Oh, he got knocked out though." But like he shook Shushu in this fight. Like Shushu got like, listen, I don't think Bruce Carrington can fight in a way. I'll tell you that much. Like I know Shushu wants in a way, but if Carlos Castro did that to him, yeah, no way. Shushu should not want him.
Never mind him, but first of all, is Bruce Carrington still with Top Rank?
Well, if he was on tonight's card, I don't think he would be, right?
The Top Rank situations is weird. Like, for example, Nico Ali Walsh is no longer with Top Rank because we know that because he said that.
Yeah.
His last fight was apparently the last on his deal. I'm just taking a breeze through the website real quick. I'm pretty sure they posted. You know what? Actually, I shouldn't even look here. I should look at their Instagram, because if they posted Shushu Carrington, then we know. The reason I bring that up though is because he could just fight Rafael Espinosa and unify. And
Shushu?
That's your boy.
Shushu's not beating Rafael Espinosa. I'll tell you that much. He's not beating Espinosa. I think if Carlos Castro shook Shushu like that, bro, I think that's too much work for Shushu.
He's still with Top Rank.
Okay, great. But let's say that's great knockout.
Keyshawn too, by the way.
Yeah. Okay, but great knockout though, right? By Bruce Carrington.
Great.
Like loved it. Like
Tremendous.
Let's give him props.
He's not a big puncher like that either. And I think he's really good, but Rafael Espinosa is a tough matchup if they do that next.
Yo, Ryan Shepard donates $5 and he says donating $5 to help Jarrell Miller get a new hairpiece.
All right.
Let's talk about this.
We have to like come on, man. This is crazy. This is fucking insane.
Oh my god.
Like he had a toupee. He said after the fight, and you knew he was gonna make a joke about it because like he's funny and all this shit. Like he's I guess self-deprecating to some extent. The fight itself was ugly. Like the fight itself was not worth talking about, but he got the win. Shantelle, like we've seen some shit in boxing, and yet this sport continues to give you shit that you've never seen before. He got his hair popped off. I couldn't believe what I was watching. You know what I mean? Like he gets into the ring. He how do you fight with a toupee? Do you not think
This is hilarious, man.
do you not think you're gonna get an uppercut that just pops your hair off?
Yeah. No, he should have glued it on more. You know what I mean? Like whoever did this work, which by the way, those are expensive hair pieces for men. And I just want to say that whoever did this job didn't do a good job in gluing it. But also, like, I'm thinking he's sweating like crazy and he's in the ring. Like, this is not, he should have just, like, you don't even need the hair. Like, here's the thing. I would say this straight up to you men. Just shave your head if you have to.
Yes.
You
100
like you
come
don't
on.
need the hair. Like it's honestly not that big of a deal. A lot of women actually don't even care if like men have hair. It's like the truth. A lot of guys look better when they're bald. Like
Bro.
to be honest.
Y'all,
Just
y'all,
saying.
y'all saw Kate Scott up there with her husband Malik Scott saying bald is sexy. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying? Like
everyone likes it.
if
Bald and a beard.
she's saying it, then y'all could be bald. It's fine. Um, this also, Jarrell Miller deleted the video off their
His
page.
hair looks great there. Whoever did a job on that toupee. Because now it's like everything must be a toupee.
This is him getting the hair knocked off. Bang, boom. This is where I saw it. Yo, I think I missed the first punch. That is
Oh my God.
crazy. I looked down, and then I heard Todd Grisham go like, "Something's going on with Jarrell Miller's hair," and I thought we were gonna see like spray paint
Yeah.
on Kingsley eBay's arm, like Jalen Brown. You know what I mean? Like I thought he did the Beijing, but no, his hair just fucking popped off. I mean, I
Crazy.
just unbelievable, bro.
Yeah.
Like this
No.
is crazy. It's not even the same. Like this is terrible. And he fought like that. Like he fought like that and won the fight too.
Yeah. It's true. Anything else for moving on from this? I don't have anything to say except for whoever did that did a bad job on it.
Salome says, "Is Jarrell Miller losing his wig? This generation's fan man. Fan man? Is that from the Riddick Bowe fight where the dude just like flies in and lands on the turnbuckle? You know what I mean? Like, is he the Carlos Boozer of boxing? Oh my god.
No. I don't know if he's the Carlos Boozer of boxing.
Oh my god. Carlos Boozer with the worst Beijing maybe ever. That
It
we've
was shiny
seen.
though. It was shiny though. It was the shine. He had the shiniest head I've ever seen in my life.
This is the Carlos Boozer
Yeah.
for people who don't know.
Oh my god.
Whose son is one of the best players in college basketball
Yeah.
right now and is going to be a top 3 pick. He's your style of guy.
Yeah.
He's absolutely your type of player.
No, I've watched a lot of him. Like he's great.
His other son is not as good, but Cameron Boozer,
Yeah.
because he has 2 twins. Ryan Shepard says the thing is he'd be okay bald. He has a shape for it. I agree. I don't know. Like, if you can go bald and just keep a beard, you're fine. If you have no facial hair, that's what it's a problem because then you just look like a penis. Like you just look like a straight up dickhead if you're just bald with no facial hair. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or if you're a white dude, you look like a finger. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I don't know, but nonetheless, the hair thing was crazy. Should we get to the other fights, Brian? I don't have anything else to say about the hair unless you do.
it's just fucking crazy, man. I'm gonna shave my head in a few years. I could feel it. Puerto Rican dudes, we bald with the beard. That's like one of our things. There was nothing else on the card except Ziad.
Okay, let's go. Yeah, let's roll.
I just
roll.
want to
Like
point
Kevin
out.
Castillo, yeah.
I just want to point out, very overrated prospect that they keep trying to force feed us, like the other dude that they keep putting on Netflix. Kevin Castillo whooped his ass. Also, Ammo Williams, good performance.
Oh, great, yeah, great performance by Amon Williams. But let's get to. Should we get to the top rank?
We don't even have all the results from freaking the top rank card on BoxRec, but Cedeno won. Polo didn't fight. Juan Mita looked great. That's basic, and Yadriel Gaban looked great. That's basically the results that you need. Yadriel looks good. He's a super flyweight. They might move him up fast.
I think he might be one of my favorite fighters right now. He looks good.
Juan Mita too.
Yeah,
Juan Mita.
But yeah, really, it was actually a good card. I was upset we didn't get to see Rohan Polanco, so that was something that I was kind of sad about. But nonetheless, I thought Tubi did a good job, and I thought Top Rank did good. And listen, a great performance by Xander Zayas. Brian, do you want to get to quickly what happened with Team Haney this weekend?
Last thing I'll say is Elif Turhan.
Oh yeah, she didn't get the knockout. Listen, that was a close fight.
It was close. I think maybe don't rush back into the ring so fast. That's what I would say.
Yeah, Al the
You know?
Pal quickly donated $2, actually $4 because I saw it earlier. But when you come to the H Town, I don't know when I'm coming back down to Texas. Got a little bit of traveling to do for work, so whenever my travel for work stops, then I can travel for fun. All right, so
Josh Padley second round knockout also. Good for him.
Yeah, that's true. I do want to get into the Team Haney thing because
Let's do
obviously that was going around social media, and obviously this was happening. You know, did it happen during the weigh-ins? Was it during the weigh-ins
Yes.
that happened? Yes. Okay, so it was the
Yes, it was
weigh-ins,
Friday.
and Devin Haney's little brother, who's 17 years old, was talking some smack to Tiger Johnson, and Tiger was like, "Who are you? Like, should we play the video?
We have the video.
Okay, let's do it."
This is courtesy of somebody on Twitter. It's a fan cam, so it's not like one of the outlets.
Tiger, hey Boo! Hey Boo!
As Tiger says, say what? Who was you? Bill Haney, by the way, he was doing and he like went up to some people. He was saying what's up. He was talking to Derek Chisora when this was happening. Like Bill Haney was out here, and then he fucking sprints into action. So like low key respect. Is Derek Chisora?
Who is you? Fuck out. What's up with it? What's up? What's up? Fuck out. Yeah. That's the kid, nigga.
There's Tiger. Tiger's like, fuck it, let's go. Look, he took them all on himself. Good build.
All right, so
one of the videos.
So, Brian, what are your thoughts on what we just saw in that video? I got a lot to say about this, by the way.
You know what? ISO on you.
All right. Well, number one, if you take a look at the video, first off, props for Tiger, right? Tiger Johnson for going at all them dudes. Number one, Devin Haney's little brother, 17 years old. And if that was me, I would have popped the shit out of him. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, I would have smacked the shit out of him if I was Tiger too. And when Tiger was talking to them dudes, if you look, Devin Haney's little brother is just standing there. The guy in the white jacket is fighting Tiger. And then once Tiger and these other dudes get on him, then Devin Haney's little brother gets into action, starts throwing punches. That he's a little 17-year-old kid, and he started all this drama for being hella cocky for no reason. Tiger Johnson did nothing wrong in this fight. And I think Team Haney looks terrible because it seems like all they do is jump dudes. They just roll in deep and they just dump dudes. It's like, come on, man. And it's true. Ryan Shepard said 17 is not too young to get punched in the mouth. He deserved to get punched in the mouth. That little kid is like so cocky. He shouldn't be talking smack to nobody. And like I said, like if it was me and I was a dude, I would have fucking smacked the shit out of him too.
I wish Tiger didn't have to. Because like he's a boxer and he needs to, you know, like he gets paid to do this. So God forbid something would have happened where he has a serious injury. He just had a big win against Nicholas Flores in a fight where he was kind of low-key an underdog. If you look at the betting odds at a certain time, he got a big knockout on Pro Box to prove like, hey, he's legit after having some performances that were like, you know, a little bit underwhelming, if we're being fair. But he goes out here and it's like 1v, I don't know, 4, 5. And like if he got hurt or like in a serious way, then this would have been bigger.
I mean, his eye was all messed up. He was bleeding a little bit. Like, this is serious. Like, this is not cool. And it's all because of a 17-year-old kid that just wanted to act cocky because he knew he was rolling in deep with his dad and everybody. Like, that's just the lamest thing ever, Brian.
Yeah.
That's lame.
And by the way, we did a story on this at the Post because it actually happened like right as I got on my shift, and it was like, oh shit, all right. And then whenever it's a boxing story, they give it to me because they don't know who the fuck any of these people are. I literally told one of the other editors, I was like, you're lucky I know who Tiger Johnson is because I could actually piece this together. But we like a statement was provided by Madison Square Garden talking about violence. This is the actual quote. This is from MSG's family of companies. Violence will not be condoned at MSG across any type of event, including hockey, basketball, boxing, concerts, or other special events. If any individual is found to participate in violent activity, whether you are part of the event or a patron, you will be banned for life and unable to attend or participate in any event across all our venues. That's the other piece of this. Is like, yo, if anyone gets hurt or anyone gets seriously involved, and Tiger's fought at MSG multiple times, like, you don't want to get into these things like here specifically. That being said, look, man, like, I don't like that shit when you're rolling deep with a whole bunch of people and you just gang up on one person
Yeah.
over some bullshit too. Like, what was this really about? Like, y'all looked at each other wrong, or somebody said the wrong thing. Like, who gives a fuck?
Just an ego thing. It's just
Especially in a crowd of people where, like, people are gonna intervene, get separated. I give Bill Haney props for like trying to squash that shit too. It didn't look like he was doing it, just to protect like his own team. Literally, he was trying to just diffuse it and protect even Tiger too. Because I don't think Bill Haney, like, for all the shit he gets, like, I'm sure he's seen a lot, and I'm sure he didn't want that to escalate either.
I mean, I don't know. I just think they're lame. Like that. Like, it's just that.
Yeah.
It's like all of it is terrible. I feel bad for Tiger. I don't think any of it is on Tiger. I think that's on Devin Haney's little brother, who's 17 years old, and he deserved to get like smacked. I'm not gonna lie. Like, he shouldn't have been acting like that. 17 years old, he can get smacked. Everyone's like, he's a kid. No, like, then he shouldn't have been acting like that. You know what I mean? Especially, this is a place where there's a whole bunch of boxers there. Like, what do you think's gonna happen? Like, these dudes are going to fight. But nonetheless, by the way, we also had Tiger Johnson on our show. He was a good interview early back in the day.
That's right.
Yeah.
This was in 2023. He nearly lost the fight after that.
Yeah.
As well.
He's looked good recently, though.
Ryan Shepherd, this is good. Violence will not be condoned at MSG unless it's Dolan kicking out Oakley, which... Look, man, I know the Knicks are having their renaissance, but they still have one of the worst owners in sports. None of the owners are particularly that great, or very few of them, I should say. I was going to say this. Alda Powell brings up 17, and you can go to county jail and prison. Like, yeah, you can get tried as an adult at 17. So I agree with you. Like, 17, not too old. So
yeah. Nonetheless, though, Brian, any final thoughts before we get out of here? Is there anything you want to touch on before we bounce?
I think otherwise, a solid night of boxing. I think.
I hate that all the fights are on at the same time, because I can't like focus too much on the fight where I'm watching two fights at the same time. So that's the only thing I hate when they do that. So it was a little bit tough to watch everything and focus on everything.
I don't love that either. I got to be honest. I'm at least appreciative of Xander Zayas having fought like well before. Shakur, Stevenson, and Teofimo. Yeah, and even before Keyshawn Davis. Now, I wish I didn't have to watch him and Shushu Carrington at the exact same time.
That's where I was a little bit like, man. But like, by the time Xander started, Shushu and Carlos Castro were like in the 8th round. So I was like, okay.
Couple other things that I think are relevant. Tomorrow, or today, if you're watching this later, Zuffa, second card, Rayo Valenzuela, Sergey Bohachuk versus Radza Butayev.
Yeah, this is actually a decent card.
Yeah, it's actually decent.
Zuffa 3 though is trash.
Is that full card now? Oh wait,
that's the one with like I think it's with Charles Martin. Like, isn't Charles Martin like 100 years? I do like FA though, and honestly, like, I remember watching early on FA's like early fights, and I was like, this guy's gonna be a monster, and it's like, he's a very interesting piece to add to Zuffa. But I looked at that and I was like, isn't Charles Martin like 100 years old now? Like, what is this? But nonetheless, the Zuffa card today or tomorrow, wherever you are, it's actually decent. So I'm going to check it out.
Anthony Joshua's first title came against Charles Martin.
Yeah.
10 years ago. And next week is Nick Ball versus Brandon Figueroa.
That's a good fight.
Which is underrated.
Yeah.
FA Jagba Charles Martin's February 15th. Yeah. I won't even. I may be back by then. I don't know actually, but we'll see. We'll be back Thursday. We're not doing a live for the Zuffa card. I'm sure we'll talk about it. And if y'all know this show, I'm gonna preview a fucking Nick Ball fight. I cannot wait for him to fight Brandon Figueroa.
No, that's going to be great. And Brandon Figueroa at the same time, like, he brings the action. Like, the Heartbreak Kid, that's a very, very good fight. And we did talk about Shushu earlier when we talk about 126 pounds. And I'll say it one more time here again. Great knockout, but he is not beating. Who is he not beating, Brian?
Rafael Espinosa. Is he beating Nick Ball?
Yes, I think I think Shushu is good, but I just think Espinosa is my favorite fighter in that division, and he's also one of my favorite fighters. So, and I thought Shushu, like, listen, he got a little bit hurt tonight before his knockout.
Last bit of news is Deontay Wilder's fighting Derek Chisora on April 4th. They're doing an event, by the way. I got invited. They're doing an event Monday morning here in New York City because they're both here going to be here. I don't know if I'm going yet, but it's in my inbox. And Deontay Wilder, Derek Chisora. I don't feel great about that.
I don't care. Like, I don't want to see Deontay Wilder anymore. I know he's one of your favorite fighters, but I just
not currently.
But he was. He was, right? So
it's over. I think Chisora might win that fight.
I don't know. I don't care. Like, I hate to say it. Anyways, Brian always has the last word, so you can
see you Thursday.
10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern time.
Ben Whitaker interview.